How many times have you set a goal, like a new year or new month, a new you, and you've planned the habits that you're told will get you to your goal? So you might have started going to the gym regularly, starting a new morning routine, whatever the habit is, health, business, personal development. So you start, and then sometimes slowly, sometimes suddenly, the habits just drop away and you find yourself right back where you started, and sometimes you feel worse because you're telling yourself you failed. Does that sound familiar? If so, this video is the place for you. I'm going to give you a completely different perspective than the typical mindset approaches you see out there. What I want to get into is the realm of excuses. So rather than seeing them as something that get in the way, seeing them as messengers, they're there to protect us, and actually learning to work with them can actually help us stay consistent with our habits and reach our goals. And stick around to the end, because I will be sharing so many more benefits that we can tap into beyond just reaching the goal by factoring in this bit of self-inquiry. So here's an example of how powerful excuses could be. I was all set to go for a run. I said I was going to. It's leading up to a bigger goal of mine. And that morning I was met with a torrent of excuses. It was raining, so I was worried my headphones would get damaged. I was concerned I might slip. I even was thinking about I might make my back injury worse. And I'm not sitting here dismissing all excuses. They definitely have their place, and it's discerning when they do. For example, I was doing the 3 Peaks challenge, our second peak, Scarfell Pike. We were caught in a storm, thunder and lightning all around us, and we quit. It was the right and safe thing to do in that instance. So excuses do have their place. But on this rainy day where I was getting ready for my run, I wasn't in any actual danger, but my body was reacting as if there was. And so, initially I did try and push through with discipline, started getting ready. But as I tried to override myself in this way, the excuses got worse and felt more intense. So this was the turning point for me. I knew these excuses weren't fact, but I knew they were trying to communicate. My body was trying to communicate something to me. When excuses show up like this, it's your body saying I feel unsafe, but not physically unsafe. Emotionally, there's stuff just going on that wants to be felt. And understanding that distinction enables us to not bypass the emotion, because then that increases stress. And stress is in the body, the allostatic load of the stress. So our excuses are emotional safety signals. They're here to help. They appear when the body senses discomfort, uncertainty, or overwhelm. So when our emotional load is high, our capacity drops and excuses appear. So this isn't failure, it's protection. And as you can imagine, over time, the more you override the allostatic load, that accumulated stress builds. It's not dissipated. So even if you're able to push through one day, if you're building up that load, it might mean you have less capacity next time. So there's more excuses. Less capacity, more excuses. The mind and body work together, so if the body doesn't feel safe, the mind will create a reason to stop. And this relationship is well documented in The Body Keeps the Score. Body often signals overwhelm long before the mind. And neuroscience shows us the same thing. Body reacts before the mind thinks. The body senses threat, fires the amygdala, and then the mind tries to interpret that threat, so it creates a story around it. So excuses are signalling capacity, and the decision part of the brain slows down or dims down, there's less options available, and this is why our excuses appear. So think of your last excuse moment. What was the literal excuse that your mind came up with? How did you react to the excuse? Did you take it as fact? And if you fell into it for a moment, could you describe the feeling underneath the excuse? Was it, for example, fear, fatigue, doubt, or overwhelm? So when I named my feelings underneath my excuses and felt into them, gave them space, I chose to sit with them, I breathed with them, and for me personally, I wrote about them. Didn't take too long. And as I did this process, the resistance softened, the decision became clearer. Oh, I was safe to go running that day. So my decision became aligned and factual. And this is where all the habit hacks that we hear about and the mindsets can really help and have their place. This is where habit stacking, starting small, identity alignment, all have their place, because you're no longer fighting yourself. You can work with these. That day I went for a run. I loved it actually. It even became type 1 fun in the end. And the relaxation after felt even better than it would have done if I'd just stayed there. And here's the part that people don't always expect. The benefits of working with your excuses go way further than achieving the goal itself, which is awesome. You gain emotional clarity, so you understand yourself a bit better, that what's actually going on underneath the discomfort might not actually be literal fact in that moment. And then two, by working with the emotions as messengers in this way, the consistency of being able to stick with your habit just ripples across many areas of your life then. For decision making, your decisions become much more aligned. So your choices become less reactive and your decisions more aligned with your true direction. Resistance drops. So, acknowledging emotion doesn't block you from doing the thing. In fact, it makes it easier. The more you do it, the more you get used to working with the emotions. There's less and less resistance over time. So you just have more energy generally because you've no longer got that internal conflict of whether you should or shouldn't do a certain task. And over time, you're building self-trust. The evidence stacks up the more you do this, and you trust yourself more and more to make aligned decisions and choices. And then the world seems more expansive as you are no longer fueled by self-limiting excuses. So what emotion shows up underneath your excuses? If you want support working through those, not bypassing or pushing through, you can download my free Safe to Feel breathwork practice, link down below. Check that out. And it's just been great to have you here, to have this conversation. Do let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you're curious about this kind of thing, all things self-improvement, self-awareness, welcome and stick around because I've got loads more content like this coming out, loads for us to explore. And so if you found this useful, please like and subscribe. Thank you for being here and I'll see you in the next one.